This is Fantasy Football Till Death.
V17.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the FFtilD Death podcast. It's your league mate, as always, Thomas Wright, joined alongside Sam Singer. Sam.
The Scout.
The Scout.
The shaky voice Scout.
Oh, we'll get to that in a little bit. That has all of the people cheering. That's bestseller in the making there, Ev. I know that was an original piece, too, so I appreciate that. That was amazing.
From the soul, honestly.
From the soul. And we are recording live from the kitchen. It is the earliest recording for us so far. It's a crisp 7:30 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday morning.
Working hard to get the brain going today.
Just absolutely just lit up in the comments, in the feed, in the group chat. I mean, we're a couple hard men at work here trying to make this happen for y'all.
For y'all.
But we're happy to do it. And episode 5 is about to hit the books. Always having a blast doing this. And we're excited to record this new special one. Sam, what do we got today?
Hey, we got a great episode for y'all today, okay? First of all, we're going to do a quick recap of last week. We got to bring back our Suicide Watch. I wonder who's going to be on that list.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to do a little recap of some league action. Not too much going on this week. We got rankings, as always. A little special mix-up for you guys today on that one. Mm-hmm. Quick State of the Union. Going to do our Gambler's Alley. Our parlay, which was pretty fun last week.
Super fun. And I think, what was it, 2-4, I think?
Yeah.
It was looking good for me for a bit.
Yeah. In the morning games, I think it was looking good for you. Afternoon games, not so much. And then I think we are going to start maybe a new series we're going to try where we review the think pieces. But now I'm thinking about the think pieces right now. That means we always have to record on Saturday morning if we want to release the pod on Saturday.
This is live. This is live, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was going to be a recurring segment until Sam just said it. Sounded great, but you are right. We would have to do that on Saturday mornings, which this is a crapshoot. There's a reason why sometimes the pod comes out earlier than other times, and it's just based on schedules. And luckily our people, we're talking to each other. They figured it out, and we're able to cram this out. But
we're busy people.
No, but I think, hey, first of all, some great ideas in the group chat. Please continue to send them out for segments. We'll try to integrate them as much as possible. This one's going to be, I think, a little bit on the shorter end just because today is kind of crazy. But yeah, send them out, and when we have time, we want to hit that. I think the hour mark is fun, and we can fit a lot in there.
We can do a lot. And thanks for checking in, Ken.
Ken, dude, you keep knocking on that door. You keep laying those bricks. Eventually,
that door's going to open. That door's going to open.
It will happen. So,
and just a quick shout out to our number one fan, Ben.
Ben. Oh yeah.
Thanks for listening, Ben.
Yeah. I saw Ben at the baby shower last week, and I don't think he knows we have a podcast.
No, he refuses to acknowledge the podcast. So thanks, Ben.
Ben, how does it feel sitting at 1 and 2 with really no redeemable qualities on your team?
How's it
very
going?
Lucky. Jaden Dan was showing last week. I knew you'd lose, and I knew you wouldn't break 100. Did you break 100? I'm not even sure. But
no, he didn't. He
oh, yeah,
didn't
93. If you listened to the pod last week, you'd know that I said you had no chance of winning and you wouldn't break 100. Nostradamus.
So that's that.
Easy peasy, although it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a psychic to know that your team wouldn't break 100. Anyways, Sam, let's go. Kick us off.
Let's get into our week 3 recap. A little bit to recap last week. We can take a look at some matchups. Graham continues to roll on the backs of his.
How about that? I mean, let's take a second. I think, first of all, the 160 ball, that's just psychotic, but has there ever been a waiver wire pickup that wasn't even the ones that you drop all your fab on don't hang 41 in their next start, but just a random waiver wire person that you pick up and then just hangs 40?
Insane. Also, 3 weeks into the season, I think Graham has been the beneficiary of every single highest scoring player of the week so far. It was Barkley, Kamara, now Juwan.
And Barkley again.
I mean, yeah. So the fact that he's dropping 160 with, J-Mo scoring less than 1 point, Keon Coleman, 1 catch, obviously for a touchdown. I mean, it's pretty sick. So
it's been the recipe. Have some guys carry. And yeah, I texted Graham, I think it's 5 or 6 guys have hung 30 plus in 3 weeks.
On his roster. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're
I
outside.
got to hope, fellow division mate to Graham, that it's not sustainable. But,
Good
sometimes the gods just favor certain players.
So fun. Must have been a really fun Sunday getting the notifications there. He couldn't even watch. So all he was doing was getting the Yahoo notifications.
Really just touchdown.
Just the battery just getting worn from his phone from all that constant activity.
Juwan with 4 touchdowns. John with 3 touchdowns. Barkley with 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy tosses 3. Keon with 1. Damn, it's a lot of touchdowns. It's a
lot of miles. Yep. So kudos there. Sick high score, Graham, and we'll see if you can keep it rolling this week. We have the last unbeaten, and that happens to be Griffin Hunter. Year of the Hunt. I've been saying it. No jinx here. Goes on to beat Ben 1 and 2. Griff with a magical running back duo, 55 or so from Henry Charbonnet. Maybe a little less than that, but crazy. He's had some really nice performances across the board from a few guys. He's maintained a really high floor from his team, where it feels like they're not even really popping off, but enough to get the dub. And 3-0. So there you go.
We said this after week 1. He's just meandering his way to 110, 111 every week. So it's pretty sick. I don't know about this week, though, Hunter.
Brother. We got you off the schneid. Nice 130 ball. Pick up your first dub of the year. How did it feel?
On the board. Felt pretty good. Nice to... I'm just happy I wasn't playing Graham this week. I put up 114 last week, lost to Graham. So it's nice to get on the board. Let's just keep it rolling, baby.
Are you a little sad that you left the ranks of Jay and Ken, who after week 3 now both sit at 0-3?
That was like being at a party where like you had the option to go to 2 parties and you committed to one earlier before you knew about the second party, and the second party is going to be way more fun, but you've got to go to the first party now, and you're just like...
Are Jay and Ken's party the more fun party?
No. No.
So you broke free and you actually got to the fun zone.
I Irish goodbye'd that first party, and I made it to the second party in the land of the winners now. So
sorry to Ken and Jay. They sit at 0-3. Really tough week. Double Hattie goes to 2-1 off a really fun game against Jay. That was exciting on that Monday night. Scary Terry with that long TD to sort of seal the deal. Zach Moss comes down and gets Jay in the end zone to make it really tight. So that was crazy. And again, Jay, sorry. We'll highlight this week for you in a sec, but
yeah,
that was pretty rough. And then lastly, picked up a nice defensive dub against Luke. And that was easy to predict. I felt like I was going to lock Luke down, and Hurts Smith combo was pretty much nothing. After week 1, I fired all of my coaching staff, and we're really making a concerted effort here. I don't think anyone will break 100 against me the rest of the year.
That's sick. That's a really good strategy.
Yeah. It's no longer do I care about points scored. It's strictly about defensive effort.
Bring that defense.
Yeah. So that's my next victim, I think, is Casey. So good luck, Casey.
Good luck, Casey.
Speaking of Casey, how about the surprise victory of the week? Casey with the 126 ball. He was the subject of some harsh reviews for his team.
Not a lot of people believed in our young archer this week.
She was a beauty too.
She was a beauty,
and boy, she was a beauty. A sight for sore eyes. Not a great sight for Ken as Mr. Allen whopped all over him on a Monday night. But congrats to Casey, 2-1, battling those injuries and being carried by his heavy hitters on the way. So
just dope. Yeah. Just dope for Casey, not for Ken.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it's time to get back into a segment that I think everyone loves. Everyone asks for every week. Who's going to be on the list? Who's going to be on the list? We got our suicide watch of the week.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Put the knife down. Oh, man.
You want to lead us off, or do you want me to lead you off?
Lead me off.
Lead you off.
Lead me
I'm bad
off.
on lead off.
Lead me off.
I'll lead you off. Lead us off. All right, I'm going to start us off here. My suicide watch of the week. It's got to go to none other than, and it's tough because I would be right there with you, but it's got to go to our league mate, Jason Gregory. Falls to 0-3 after his best week of the season. And although with the points scored, it was his best week of the season, it still didn't. His team didn't come into fruition like he would have hoped based on the way he drafted it. So his receivers basically were non-existent, and yet he got about 44, 45 points from his running backs. His 0 RB running backs come through, which for a team like Jay's, he would have imagined had he got that running back production, he'd be getting the highest score of the week. Ultimately, scores 107, loses a close one. The guys that he invested in really fell short. CD with 6, CJ another subpar performance. So, I mean, to be 0-2 and then to have your 0 RB guys go off, that's got to be a really, really, really tough hit to manage mentally when it comes to your team.
Put the knife down, Jason.
Exactly, Jay. So, just keep battling, Jay. There's hope. You'll break through, man. You'll break through.
That's off to a good start this week. You know, CD had a sick game on Thursday night.
CD finally came through. I mean, he's the guy. He's a lot of people's number 1 ranked guy preseason. So you got to imagine he's good for more than 6. And good luck this week. But yeah, Jay, post week 3, that's my suicide watch of the week. I can't imagine. Actually, I know firsthand that he's not feeling well or very optimistic about the rest of the year. But you know, I don't want to big bro you, but you got this, Jay.
It gets better, Jay. It gets better. All right. Well, I think, it's my turn now to go. And
it is your turn to go.
You let off, and now I'm batting.
Now you're
second.
going to,
okay.
There you go.
Okay. I'm in the hole. Is that what they call it? No surprise here, guys. Honestly, no surprise here. Ken, welcome back to the list. You got some strong mental fortitude, I know, but Ken, we had to put you back on the list. I mean, matching up with Casey, it looked like this could have been your week. And, of course, Casey duct tapes together a team, really. I mean, Casey was at yard sales,
when he duct taped
sales.
Ken, Dexter style.
Casey spent some time on Craigslist and scrounged up a starting roster and dropped the 3rd most points of the week. Led by Josh Allen, throwing 4 touchdowns in the first half. Amari Cooper.
From the grave.
I mean, Josh Allen goes from single-digit points last week to scoring almost 30 more points this week than he did last week. Amari Cooper with 2 touchdown catches after looking like he was going to just be horrible this season. Khalil Shakir, Josh Allen's wide receiver 1, the beneficiary of a touchdown reception and 72 yards. I mean, man, David Montgomery with an RB1 type of day. And Ken falls to 0-3. His running backs did a little bit better this week. They combined for over 6 points. So
over 6. Now we're getting
massive.
Yeah. Now we're getting up there for sure.
Lamar had a good day. JJ had a good day. Rashi had a good day. Olave had a good day. But it's just tough when you don't have a single startable running back on your roster. And then Ken, more bad news this week, I think, with Kareem Hunt being elevated. We got Clyde the Glide coming back. It's just looking like Perrine's not going to be... Well, he's not startable already, but he's definitely not going to be startable moving forward. So, I
mean, 5.5 is really good for that lineup.
Yeah, but he's some major shrinkage incoming.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's tough when 5.5 being impacted is hurting your team a lot.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So I don't know. Ken's strategy is hopefully get lucky with some injuries, and he's got some sick.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Man. Come on,
you just got
a marathon. You got to
hope that marathon kicks into gear, before it's too late. So he does have Kareem Hunt on the roster, though. So the trouble there is, now he's got to pick between Perrine and Hunt when maybe both of them will combine for a serviceable flex number, but probably not one of them. So, rough.
Welcome back, Ken.
Ken, you're familiar with this list. If you could, please reach out to Jay, maybe help him.
Support group. Yeah. Let's do this together.
Because Ken, you are familiar with this padded room, and Jay is still working out the feel of the straitjacket.
Jay's actually, according to his text, 0-3 in both of his leagues.
Ooh.
Both of his main leagues. So
damn.
Yeah, be there for each other, support each other, and just know that there's time. I mean, I dropped the anecdote. You know, I started 0-4 back-to-back years and made it to the ship in both those years. So it's doable. It's doable.
It can
be done.
Better.
It can be done.
It gets better.
Walk off that ledge. Speaking of walking off that ledge.
Yeah, you know, there was someone else we had in consideration for this list heading into, you know, after the weekend. And that was the author of this week's think piece, Evan. Just some bad luck on his team. I mean, with Tua making Tyreek basically a flex player at most, with Patrick Mahomes just, I guess,
underperformance,
still being pedestrian, the zero RB strategy as well. So, but you know what? Evan said, F that. I'm going to take some action this week. And we had our only trade of the week, as far as I know, pretty big trade. Spring answered the phone. Evan said, hey, I don't know who initiated it anyways, but this is how I think it went down. Spring answered the phone. Evan said,
should we play roles here?
Yeah, let's role play this.
Okay. Who do you want to be?
I'll be Evan.
Okay. I'll be Spring.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I would assume it was probably Spring. I would say probably
Spring reached out.
Yeah, probably Spring.
He saw the limp in Evan's step.
Yeah,
and
the limp. Yeah, the limp and the gimp.
Okay.
He probably said, "Have you looking for some running backs?"
Actually, yeah, I am. Actually, I could really use some running backs.
Okay. What about Gibbs? Gibbs and JK?
Yeah,
Gibbs and JK.
That's a pretty sick duo.
Yeah, Gibbs and JK.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sick. So, I mean, who are you thinking you want for my team for those two guys?
I'm thinking, Mahomes is whatever, but I'm willing to take the risk on him.
I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate you're willing to take that risk.
Mm-hmm, yeah, obviously. I can't take Tyreek. Those guys are too good. But I mean, I could go for Amon-Ra. You still keep Tyreek. Tua will probably be coming back. So
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So
I would rather have Tyreek.
Still have that wide receiver one.
Yeah,
and I'll throw in Baker because Baker's.
Yeah, because I was going to say I would need a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, Baker's really good. He incinerated Thomas week 1 for 30 plus.
Yeah, so. Baker's. Now that you mention it, Spring, Baker might be better than
Mahomes. Yeah, so you're actually getting an increase. I'm taking the hit here because I care about you, and I know how hard the last couple of weeks would have been.
Wow, man.
It's not. I would say it's a win-win, except I'm getting robbed in this trade. So
are you sure you want to do this then?
Yeah, let's.
Do you think the league's gonna think it's a fair trade?
It's okay. I know people in the league, so whatever happens, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Well, I trust you.
Mm-hmm. I'll send it through. JK, Gibbs, Baker, and Scary Terry. You saw that long touchdown.
He might be back, right?
He's back.
He is back.
He's back.
He's definitely back?
Yep. Yeah, he's back.
Wow.
He's better than... He could also be better than St. Brown.
I didn't really even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and scene.
I think that's probably how it went down.
Yeah, verbatim.
Evan probably is just like, man, it sucks. Hate to give up that guy, but F him. I'm not going down with this ship. Let's do it. And Spring said, I'm taking a hit here, but let's see how it shakes out.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a cool trade. We'll see how it works out for both teams. I always love these trades with a lot of players involved. We had 7 players involved in this.
Super fun.
In this trade. And basically, Jaylen Warren's probably not a starter, but everyone's going to be started in this trade, which is pretty sweet. All consequential players. Yeah, super cool trade. I mean, obviously, some very, very much so, some win-win opportunity there. Also, like any trade, there's a chance that if Pat doesn't pick it up, Spring fell on this sword last year. Pat being average, he hasn't really been a stud league fantasy quarterback in a while. So if that trend continues, then I don't think it's a great trade for him. But I think he would look at his quarterback situation and just
he'll be able to sleep a lot better at night knowing he has that upside with Pat. And then also, I don't think he was probably super excited about his wide receiver room just by the nature of the volatility of the position, especially compared to his running backs. Getting that tried and true horse in that lineup from the Horse Lords. Spring's got to feel really good about it. But Evan going from absolute trash in the running back spot, he must have been dying starting those guys to have at minimum Gibbs, and then that upside if JK can keep it going is
pretty solid.
I like it. I mean, it's a cool trade across the board, and for Ev, you got to make a change.
Too. Yeah, he had to do something.
He's just got to inject some of that.
Swung for the fences with that draft, and unfortunately got unlucky, hit by the injury bug. Not even his players, but just
no. It just didn't seem like it was working out like you hoped, and sometimes you got to make a change before. Worst case scenario, just slowly death by 1,000 cuts sort of thing, And so it's better to be proactive than to just keep wishing and praying that whatever strategy you started is going to work out exactly how you had planned, because there's a lot of factors involved, and you have to be able to be flexible and pivot. You can't just think because you thought a certain thing before the draft or at the draft that's the right way and you're going to be correct.
Exactly.
You won't be always proven true. So you got to have that mental flexibility and be able to, and that's where a lot of these trades come in, and even waiver wire, dropping guys, picking guys up. It's like, whatever your preconceived notions were, be ready to drop them, because it's a volatile game.
It is. And I think both teams got better. So, hallmark of a good trade. Time will tell. But, all right, should we do some rankings?
I like it. I know Tripp and his message to the group was excited for these rankings. And I think we're going to do a little bit different, though. We're not going to give you the traditional rankings. I know, Spring, you wanted to be up there still, but you might not get it. In this edition. We're going, now, how do we say this in a way that makes sense?
So
do we start with the extravagant description of it and end with the basic description, or do we start basic and then
we go extravagant?
We
lead off with so it is a top 3, bottom 3.
Okay.
But what we are ranking, ladies and gentlemen, is our top 3 teams who are the most peacock, the most full energy, the most, we're at the bar, we're at the nightclub, they're out there, they're mixing around, they're talking to girls, they're buying drinks, they're keeping the energy and the vibe high.
Whatever it is, they got it.
And then our bottom 3 teams. These are, for lack of a better description, the exact opposite of the top 3. They're the guys, they're the teams that passed out at the pregame, pissed themselves on the couch, didn't make it to the bar, or if they did make it to the bar, they're just sort of like in the corner, drooling on themselves, stumbling a little bit.
Maybe beer in hand, other hand in the shorts sort of thing.
Scratching, sniffing, not really bringing much of a vibe. In fact, if the group's going to leave to go to the after party, they might get left at the bar because they're just kind of bringing it down.
I mean, they still might have something there. It's just, you just can't see it, right? They're just not giving themselves a chance.
They just, there's that perfect level you want to hit.
Yeah.
1 drink away from driving yourself to the hospital, but not 2 drinks past being too drunk to drive yourself to the hospital.
What is, out of curiosity, what's the level of being, I guess, there enough to drive to Taqueria de Anda, order food, have it, and then potentially begin eating it, but then also being so drunk that you forget that you order the food in the car and you pass out in the car and don't touch it and don't
you forget that you are the one that drove yourself to Taqueria de Anda by
good
yourself.
Caveat.
Yeah.
So you're there enough to go order it, but then bring it back to the passenger seat.
Yeah.
What's that level of drunk?
That is a few drinks past being able to drive yourself to the hospital.
Okay, so that would be the second category.
That would be the second category.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, especially if, like, in just hypothetical here, like, you crashed into someone else's car on the way out of the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that qualifies.
It's sort of, I mean, it's close. It's like, but, this is a very fine line that we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was Ben's car, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this hypothetically, that was Ben's car.
Speaking, it was our top fan, biggest listeners, Ben's car.
Deserved it. I mean, at this point, deserved it.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah, it was 100% deserved.
You guys could guess who the who the violator was.
Yeah.
In the league. It was a league member that did that.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically capable of that.
Hypothetically speaking.
Okay, so moral of the story, 3 most sort of fun, exciting, cool teams, and 3 teams that are whatever, boring.
Still trying to figure it out.
No indication of how good they are. Not about points or ability. We're just saying, these are the teams you want to talk to at a bar, catching your eye, and these teams are, you don't even want a wingman for them.
Yeah. And so I think what we should do is we'll just come up with a list together.
Okay.
So
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Do you want to start top or bottom?
Let's start top. Let's start on the good news, the positive note.
Okay. All right. Do you want to pick, do you want to go one from each division, or you just want to go whole across the league? We can just go across the league.
Yeah, let's go across the whole league.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking at 3 short of a train here.
Yep.
And I don't know. Does anyone catch your eye immediately?
Yeah, we gotta. I mean, welcome Pandemonium. He's got to be at the top here, and the reason for that is just because, like, again, going back to the analogy of the going out in the bar analogy, for the past 3 weekends in a row, we've gone out to the bar, and this dude has been the life of the party. Graham's been like wheeling and dealing. He knows the DJ. He knows the bouncer. He's getting people in to cut the line, and he's just like laying it down thick.
I got to say, though, I agree with that, but with the caveat of Graham's like the guy that you meet that it's like unsuspecting, but then all of a sudden you see him in this environment and he's just like popping off. Like he knows people. Suddenly girls are looking at him, talking to him. You're like, how in the world is he getting this sort of attention? How does he have this sort of swag?
There's something.
How is Juwan Jennings hanging a 40 piece?
Yep.
Jerome Ford and Gasecki in there just doing their thing. Like what?
That's a great distinction.
You know what I mean? It's like pop off like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, you're like, this guy, you start to think like, why am I not doing that? Like I could be that guy. But you're just not, you're just not, those guys are out there. You're like, oh my gosh. And then end of the night, you see them get into this Uber with 1 or 2 or 3 people that you didn't even make eye contact with.
Yep.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's like, we have the last 3 weeks of history of seeing him act like that, but it's like, you wouldn't be surprised if like you go out to the bar with him this week and it's like, he's just on some weird level and it's just like, hey, where is this energy
He's on his phone the whole time, not really paying attention, not there. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, he's got clearly he's like a dude, like he's got the Saquon Kamara money, he's got money at least, but you don't realize how multifaceted nature of it is like what's been eye popping. It's like, we knew he had money, goes into the club, can spend, he's going to attract, but then like the personality, the dance moves, you're like, man, I didn't know Juwan Jennings could dance like that. It's like,
those moves,
the moves,
but is it just like is it in the context of the setting, or is it because it's inherent?
And I guess that's what we'll need to see played out.
Exactly.
But it's been maybe it was maybe some special stuff that he was taking beforehand and made him act that way.
Yeah, the Michael Jordan juice from Looney Tunes. And,
Who knows?
Slam
that special
Jam,
juice.
Jam Slam.
That special juice.
Space Jam.
So I like that.
All right. Well, so that's number 1. Should we go now? Let's get a bottom feeder.
Go to a bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to throw one out there, and maybe it's because I just played him, but I'm going to go Luke and Dom, man. And I've said this from the beginning. It's a solid team, but just like, I don't know. I mean, like, there's no one besides Brock, but I think Brock's like a cool freshman if you're in college. It's like, that person's cool, but not quite there yet, but
still learning the ropes.
But other than that, it's just like, this person is a good person to have in the group potentially, but it's not going to stand out, like not going to stand
100%.
out, not going to detract from the group, but it's just not going to add anything. There's no flair. It's whatever. Najee
like
Jones.
This team is like the promoter at the nightclub who like you say, you dap up, you say what up when you get there, but then like, they're not really partying.
Yeah.
They're not really having a good time. They're kind of more like scheming and like,
or like a restaurant manager at a cool chic restaurant that like dresses up, walks around, thinks they have swag, goes and talks to people, and people entertain them because they want free drinks or whatever. But they're like, we're just talking to you because you work here and you can hook it up, but you're not actually that guy. You're not really that cool.
You might be able to get us a table, so we're gonna we're gonna put up with
Act
you.
like we're boys. Make sure that I get you in my contacts so that I can text you, make you feel good because I'm hyping you up. But
yeah, because next weekend I might need like a table at the Tony Pollard Club. But yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You look at that team, you're like, just like, who are you excited? I mean, like, yeah, it's a good team. But I'm not like, there's no one that I'm just like, get that warm, fuzzy feeling of like, I'm going to risk it all for.
They're not inspiring
I'm not risking
me
it all.
to take the next double, quad, triple shot of tequila at the table.
Exactly. There's no one could bat their eyelashes. Unless I was at the level of, stay at home after the pregame, in which case it's all there. Everything's fair.
But speaking of inspiring me to take that next shot.
Yeah.
And maybe this is going to be a little bit controversial because this person is on our suicide list.
I know you're going with it, and it's not. This person was actually on my list.
For real?
Yeah. So, but continue.
For those not following, we're going back to the top. The most spicy, the most peacock, the most like get this person on your squad for a night out. Young and hung. Jason Gregory.
I like it.
This team is looking spicy now with the emergence of the Red Rocket and Chuba Hubbard. With Jonathan Brooks, is going to be able to come off IR and replace Chuba if that happens. Zach Moss looking like a good running back last week. I mean, the MHJ, CD combo. CJ playing a horrid defense this week. It's looking pretty spicy for Jay.
It's a fun team, and I think if you can hit the wide receivers, obviously he hasn't gotten 100% the production out of the wide receivers that he wanted. But if you're drafting that sort of team, as long as you have a couple guys, I mean, one or two running backs that you can feel like aren't Ken's level of running backs, like it just makes it fun. Like it gives you ability to try to play more, like you're not super locked into thinking every one of my starters I can't drop. I have to play. There's good, blah, blah, blah. It just gives you some flexibility to play. You have some guys that you want to bank on that are exciting. Wide receivers are exciting. They're flashy. CJ, he should be better, supposedly, than he's been. But yeah, it's fun. He's got guys that are fun, exciting. CD, Harrison, Stroud. I mean, those guys are cool. They're fun. They're flashy. Yeah, you want to party with them. They're going to be fun. They want to play some Rage Cage. They want to hit the club. They want to rave. It's just a good time. Yeah, I agree.
This is the team that has. Here we are, week 4. This team's got the sick outfit put together. Things have really started tying together. The shirt, the pants, the jewelry. Everything's looking good. You're going out to the club. You're excited to party with this team. You are remembering in the back of your head that this team was going through some shit the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of like someone who's like had a bad history with partying, or maybe a little bit abusive, and they've, there's a reason why they're 0-3, but at the same time, if they get it together, they're just a really good time. So if they can manage that, it's like, yeah, come out. Hopefully you don't go over the edge. Hopefully you don't abuse it, but you're just an enigmatic sort of like personality. Let's go. Show us the ropes. They know a bunch of people you wouldn't expect them to know, getting us in places because they've partied too hard there in the past. Yeah, it's just we all know those people, and they're a really good time. Not a good influence, but they're a good time.
Yeah, and you just keep one eye on them. Just keep one eye on them because they're a great time, but could go bad.
Could go bad. Yeah, could go bad. Yeah, I agree. I like that.
Speaking of going bad, we're back to our bottom feeders. We're back to our people that are getting kicked out of the bar for some stupid reason. Bring it down the vibe.
Can I hop in on this one?
Yeah, you hop in.
And then you can take the next one?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I got to give it to this guy he might have been the recipient of one of the hypotheticals, hypothetically. But, yeah, there's a reason why he's no longer on my team. If I see a question mark next to Mixon's name and I'm staring down the barrel at Drake and Rome outside of the bathroom at the district, I just don't want to have that conversation with them, really. I'd rather just kind of like pretend like I didn't see him, wait to go to the bathroom in a little bit, head back to the bar, maybe slam another drink or two, and then make my way back. It's Brennan's team. It's Carry Them Caleb, and it could change, but I see Gino at the helm, and no matter how good he does, it's still Gino. It's kind of like the option D, when it comes to like people you may want to.
It's like, wait, where did everyone else go? Oh, I kind of know that guy, but I don't want to just awkwardly stand by myself, so I'll go talk to that guy.
This would be like at the end of a night at the Shire, like somehow I'm hanging out with a pledge bro and we're doing MMA in the backyard. It's like, how did I end up out of all the options of what I could be doing right now, literally wrestling with a guy that's like not even my friend, but's been dying to wrestle with me? And like, it's just like, it is what it is, but it happens. It's not exactly the place you want to be.
You're not achieving your fullest potential spending time with this person out at, on a night out. That's for sure.
So sorry, B, I'm putting you in that category. And, hey, the season is young, and after this week, you could be, that duckling that turns into a swan.
Exactly. Things change quick. So moving on to our final stallion, I guess, our final top 3 dog, someone you want to gravitate towards on a night out. Should we just, I think I just got to go. I think I just got to go traditional here,
Classic beauty, I would say. Huh?
Yeah.
Just a classic, well put together. You're just like, this person, I don't, whether it's girl or guy version, it's just like, I don't think this person is that crazy. They're just like got a really good personality. They're fun. They're like consistent, annoyingly good looking.
Yeah.
Or just like, not like you're like a Ken doll good looking, but you're just like, there's no way that like any girl would be like, yeah, I'm not into that dude.
Right. Broadly applicable.
Yeah, very broadly applicable, and successful, smart. I think we got to give it to Mr. Springfield's team at this point, especially after that trade. Just like top to bottom, you're looking at it like, yeah, I want to hate, but I just can't. It's one of those guys like you want to hate on them, except they're really cool too.
Exactly. Like he gets Patrick Mahomes, the name value at the top of his roster. And that's like kind of like, he's just wearing the vibey clothes that everyone on TikTok is wearing. And you're like, you want to hate him for that, but also it's like, it just works.
You just can't. Probably his least favorite wide receiver in a starting 3, he ships out and replaces with a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Still has that Taylor Cook combo where it's just like, man. It's kind of annoying.
It's annoying. And he's got some Pitts sucks, but it's like he could catch a touchdown every week.
He did.
Ramondre sucks, but like he could get 25 touches potentially every week with New England not being as bad as we thought they were going to be.
They have enough involvement. Reed there on the bench. It's like the Pitts, Stevenson, Reed combo of that trio. It's like you want to hate and then you end up in the trough next to him and you're like, why? Of all things.
Yeah.
And now there's that. And it's just like, good for you, man.
Good for you.
Congrats, Spring. Good for you. Good for you, Trip. 2-1.
Keep it rolling. And now to our last bottom feeder. You want to go here?
How are we feeling about this segment, by the way, guys? Are we liking it?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. And
I'm feeling like I'm having fun doing it, but I feel like it's been a long segment.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm having fun, but I feel like it's been a long segment.
Give us some feedback in the chat if you guys like this or not. Because we just get lost in this game and we're having fun. And like now the pod's been going on for 6 hours. And
bottom of the barrel.
Our last bottom feeder.
No, not bottom of the barrel. Guys, context too. I know there's feelings involved on the pod. Everyone wants to be the best team. I want to be the best team. Sam wants to be the best team. Unfortunately, our teams suck, but whatever we do here, they're just fun. It's just fun, mess around with it. These aren't the worst teams. We're just having a good time with it.
So I got 2. The one I just had up and this one. You like option 1 or option 2?
Wait. Which one did you just have up? This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing this one more.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The other guys, Casey's bricked up now. Yeah, he's not just braced. He's bricked. Yeah. And he's fully bricked. And when you drop 130, that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
When you have Josh, it's just, all right, no more betting against Casey's team.
When you have Josh, it doesn't matter that your sneakers are from Kmart because they look good still.
Look good, dude. It's just, he's built like a Matt truck. So he just got that like man steez. He's like 6'5", just a big dude, broad shoulders. It's like, he's not the best looking.
People gravitate towards him just because.
Just because he's like, oh yeah, what do you have going for you? Oh, I'm 6'5", and I look like I grew up on a farm.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's it.
So
good for you.
Just to clarify, Casey, you are not in the bottom 3. Unfortunately, Ben, our biggest fan and definitely has listened this far in the podcast, is our final team who you don't want to get stuck with on a night out.
Mm-hmm. I never would, personally. Never in a million. I don't care how drunk I was. I would never end up with Ben's team.
No, never. And it's just like, you just look at this roster and it's like there's some things to kind of get excited about.
There's no redeeming quality
like,
ever whatsoever about it. Zero.
You're right. Yeah.
This is the kind of guy that like comes and hangs out because they're a friend of a friend, and they neglect to tell you until they're literally outside her house. Like, oh, by the way, I invited Ben's team. And then they walk in, you see the text as they're walking in. You're just annoyed because there's a group of girls that are coming over that you want to have a good impression with. They're going to be there. They're going to just take away their detraction from the whole group. Then you go out and your main goal is to ditch them.
Yeah,
the whole time
becomes about separating yourself.
You have to do.
Yeah,
if that means you have to literally drink them under the table, and they end up at the bar, and then you make their actual friend come pick them up. Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and it sucks to like you were here to have a good time, and now you're trying to like pull some weird like mental mind tricks on this like horrible succubus of a team that's just following you around, killing every vibe. This is the girl I've had my eye on for like the past 2 months. And like I'm finally in this moment talking to her. And then here comes Ben's team with some stupid joke with their arm around you, making it look like they're your friend and this girl's gone.
You know what the best part about that too is? It could be a situation where you don't know what happens with that guy. And then he comes over excited, basically with the rest of the group, like still drunk from the night before, back to your house. And he's like, oh, I went home with this girl. It was the craziest night. And she was like the top of the line, hottest girl in the entire school.
Yeah.
And I would still look him in the eyes and say, shut up, Ben's team. No one cares. No one cares.
The perfect summation.
I don't care that your team dropped 140. It still sucks. And I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, and some really weird stuff like that, must have happened for you to close that deal for sure.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with your personal capabilities.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyways, yeah, that was our week 4.
Week 4, top 3, bottom 3. We are 20% of my daughter's life into this fantasy season.
Oh my gosh!
When you think about it like that, it's weird, huh?
You have a daughter?
Yeah.
It's still mind-blowing to me, by the way.
Yeah, me too. To me as well. And probably always will be.
So yeah, let us know your thoughts on that segment. If you want us to go back to traditional rankings, or if you like us mixing it up. So we were thinking that potentially maybe every other week we do a special type of rankings. We just sort of put some weird caveat on it and then just mess around.
I love it. Hopefully you guys do too. Let us know. Let us know in the comments below.
Like, smash, subscribe.
Yeah. Well,
can we get some more comments on the video? Like, if you guys watch the video, just comment, like. I mean,
subscribe.
You're listening to it. It can't be that hard, can it?
Engagement.
Are you guys even all subscribed to the channel?
Do you guys even like us? Quick state of the union of the league. I mean, we basically covered everything.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of kind of going through everyone at this point. I mean, it's been 3 weeks. I think I don't know how much we can take away from it so far. I don't have that good of a read overall, other than some players look pretty good. Kamara and Saquon are looking really sick. Josh Allen looks like the guy that you should have spent money on. Malik Neighbors looks super good.
He looks so sick.
He deserves a better spot for himself. Rashee Rice looks like that guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to take away yet.
No, we got bye weeks coming up next week, so maybe there'll be more to talk about then. But
as far as the state of our league, I mean, it's just been, I feel like, pretty chalky. Ken and Jay probably deserve to have one win after last week, you would think. Seeing that 0-3 definitely sucks. I know, at least for Ken, he probably thinks he deserves it. But overall, the way things have shaped out, it's not that surprising. A lot of parity. Hunter at 3-0 is probably, he's got a good team, and he's been on, not the short end of the stick as far as matchup. So it's just not a ton to take away here, I don't think, after week 3.
Yeah, I agree. With that said, let's look at week 4 matchups.
Let's do it.
Let's get back to Gambler's Alley.
Welcome to Gambler's Alley. Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
Vegas.
Let's do it. I thought I was going big last week. I really did. I thought I was going to win it all.
It looked good in the morning. Not so good in the afternoon.
That's why you don't put the house on 16 parlays. For those of you that didn't know.
But if you win.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It is nice. So actually take that with a grain of salt. Maybe not the house.
You'll win.
Maybe the Tesla.
You'll win eventually.
All right, so let's lead up. Do you want to hit the same format as we did last week? I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, let's do it. That's
so
perfect.
we're building a parlay. We're building a 16 parlay based on the matchups this week. We got to get 6 out of 6 correct, but we only get to select 3. We're going to do it a draft style, snake style. Whichever the one team picks, you get the opposite, and it goes and slots right into your parlay. So let's go bottom to top this week on the matchups, okay? And I'm going to give you first pick.
First pick, me against Hunter. You know, I never bet on myself.
You're hedging. Yeah, you got to hedge. That's what we all do.
I'll take Hunter.
Okay, you're taking Hunter. So I got you. I think you look good this week. I was telling Hunter privately, there's a part of me that wants him to be undefeated going into our week 6 matchup, just because I think it'll be a really program-defining win for my team if I can take him down at 6-0. That being said, happy to have you in this bet. I think your team looks pretty nice set up there with my handcuff leading the charge in the flex.
Braylon Allen is the sickest running back in the NFL.
I hope not. But anyways, all right, I'll take you in the parlay. Now we're going to move on to Luke and Dom. Sorry, Luke and Dom. We've seen a couple texts from Dom in the group chat since his invitation into the league. So
it's great. It's great to have him.
So sorry, Dom. Luke and Dom versus Brendan. And this one's, man, I know I actually called both of this is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, bottom feeder match of the week.
Both of these guys are definitely trying to drink themselves out of the actual party and stay and play beer pong till 4 a.m.
Yep.
And we come back and they're slurring, slouched over against the vinyl floors. I'm going to go with, this is tough. I'm going to go with Luke. And I think I'm going to go with Luke because I think this is a Bowers breakout week. No Adams. I think Bowers goes crazy, and having a big performance from the tight end is you can't lose with that, especially this year, right?
This year.
I'm going Luke.
All right. Mark it. Who's our next matchup? Ken versus Horse Lords. Ooh, another interesting matchup. You know, I think this is the week. That Ken gets his firest dub. I'm taking Ken.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm glad you took Ken because I'm loving this Evan upset. It shouldn't even be really considered an upset at this point, but I'm loving this Evan pick. And you know why? I think based on the season it's been for Ken, it's only fitting that Shaheed just goes nuts as Olave sits holding his hamstring. Ken's first real taste of having a guy you really want out there. Not out there this week. I'm assuming he's not playing.
Olave was hurt.
Yep. So Olave is probably not playing if he's anything like the other guys with hurt hammies.
Yikes. So Rashi, JJ, and Lamar need to combine for 90 for Ken to have a shot here. Maybe 95.
But we did say this. There's something that we haven't mentioned yet, and that's King Midas, Mr. Springfield, Trip himself, lands Mahomes. Does that do magical things for Kelsey now?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think Trip has that effect?
Not on Kelsey. Maybe Rashi.
Well, Rashi already had it.
I know.
Rashi was just already too good. He was going to be good regardless of whose team he's on.
Although
we're talking about fantasy karma. We're talking about things that you can't define.
Although they did not that Kelsey's been a squeaky wheel, but Mahomes did come out and say, throw some shade, say, Rashi's going to be a 2,000-yard receiver this year if you guys keep double teaming Kelsey. So,
okay,
maybe this is the week.
He always destroys the Chargers.
A touchdown, yeah.
He always destroys the Chargers.
Maybe Kelsey has like a 4 for 38 and 2 touchdown kind of week.
Or like a 3 for 32 with 3 touchdowns.
That would work as well.
That too. Okay. I still like Evan here. I think Dobbins will get enough work to be better than what he's had. Gibbs, he's due for a big week. And it just takes Tyreek one. So I'm nervous about Baker. For sure nervous about Baker, but
He's shown that he can play well.
Yeah, I think he's got 25 the last 2 weeks or something, but yeah.
But
he did have 35 week one, so yep.
It is Baker.
Yep, it is Baker. All right, so give me Ev there. Excited about that one. And Ben, you know where I'm going. Give me Jay all day, every day. Mark this one, blowout of the week. Circle it. And yeah, I would pay for this in blood ink.
In blood ink.
Yeah, I would pay for this one in blood ink. I am guaranteeing Tutu Atwell outscores Garrett Wilson. And this is pretty much no contest. Yeah, give me Jay.
Damn it. All right. Double Hattie versus Welcome Pandemonium. Interesting matchup here. Do we think that Graham's going to keep striking gold with these massive performances? Or is Double Hattie just a little too much here? I mean, Double Hattie's roster is just looking stacked. And I think Double Hattie gets the win. I think this might be the week that Graham's luck regresses a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say. And you look at Tripp's team. Yeah, he has the no tank Dell playing for the Texans this week. Bump to Diggs. That's going to help. Diggs is one of those guys that you hope to have a high floor, but maybe don't necessarily count on the upside. That certainly helps in that regard. Yeah, we're going to need some big performances from the wide receivers. Kamara supposedly seemed like he's been a little bit banged up in practice. Not sure if that's just precautionary or what. Ford, he's been really scary the last couple weeks. So, yeah, I think Graham would probably agree. He just needs some heavy hitters to really swing and swing hard. So, yeah, give me Graham. Let's see if we can get some repeat performances from the Purdy's and Jennings of the world.
Final matchup: Casey versus Mr. Unbreakable, podcast host himself, and it's your pick, sir.
Oh man, I didn't plan this out right. I don't like picking my own matchup.
I know, it sucks.
Oh, dude. I mean, I hate Thursday nights. For the record, I absolutely despise, and I've probably said this to most people, I can't get a Thursday night, like, positive performance to save my life. And I absolutely loathe them, and I don't look forward to them. Every time I see them, I know it's just going to start my week off annoyingly and frustratingly. And it happened again. I guess it wasn't a doomsday scenario. Decent performance. Dak had 18 with like 17 minutes into the game and ends with 20. Classic. Freaking Ferguson. I mean, he has a good game for a tight end, whatever. It's fine. Singletary going against the worst ranked rush defense. That line couldn't block anything. I was hoping to just get like 9 or 10 out of him. Goes for 4. So I hate Thursday. That's my rant. I just hate it. It doesn't ever seem to go well.
Everyone else had a good Thursday too. I mean, CD had a good game. Wandale had a good game.
Dowdle
Neighbors
had 12.
Dowdle, yeah.
Stupid. I just hate Thursdays, and I'm done. I don't need to talk about it anymore, but I despise them. That being said, I'm picking Casey. I'm picking Casey for the parlay. You know I got to hedge it. I just don't expect to beat Josh Allen ever. I don't know if I've ever played him and he didn't score 40. And so, actually, take that back. 1 week in the playoffs against Luke a few years ago, I shut him down. But beyond that, he's a guaranteed 40 spot. So I'm hoping that
I'd be in a shootout against Baltimore too. I mean,
but maybe in Baltimore, maybe they're there to play. I'm hopeful in some ways, but yeah, this Mason Montgomery combo is scary, man. His team is scary just by having those running backs and Allen. I don't anticipate.
That's all it needs.
Yeah,
that's like potentially a 70-point floor right there.
San Fran D at home against New England,
looking good.
That's stupid.
19 points, 20 points right there from the D.
Yeah, it's dumb. Whatever. Yep. All right, count it.
Well, that's our parlay. So just quick recap. I've got Hunter, Brendan, Ken, Ben, Spring, and you. And you've got the opposite. Luke, me, Evan, Jay, Graham, and Casey.
I don't feel good about that parlay.
Me neither.
I guess you should never feel good about a 16 parlay, just as like some words of wisdom. don't ever feel good about a 6-game parlay.
I mean, yeah, that's how it hits because it's the unexpected that happens. Yeah.
So what's the bet? Is it 50 again?
It's 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
50 till we hit, and then we press it.
Okay.
Then it goes to 100.
100?
And then 1,000.
Okay. Earmuffs, Jess. Earmuffs.
All right. We're going to end with, because we're recording at the Ass Crack of Dawn on Saturday, we have the luxury of having seen our league mates think piece this week. Young Evan with a really unique, I think piece, bringing us north of the wall.
I loved it.
Let's do a quick review. What'd you think?
I loved it.
How'd you like your role in the story?
My role, yeah, I liked it. I think I'm trying to think exactly what I was a burly
warrior.
I think I was like a quiet burly guy.
Yeah, quiet burly warrior.
Quiet burly warrior. I think that's probably would be somewhat true. Let's see. Actually, it just popped it up. Let's see where my appearance. Where are we?
Early on.
Where? Oh, it was early.
You're next to Luke.
Oh, I was fighting. I had an appearance fighting beside him. Here we go. Beside him stood Thomas, a burly man with a calm determination. Okay.
Pretty sick.
A burly man with a calm determination. I like that.
Just
yeah.
quiet until it's time to rip some throats.
Right, yeah. I like that. It was good.
Who are you most...
Where did you come in?
I was a shaky voice scout.
Sam, the young
said,
scout, was crouched nearby, his eyes wide as he stared into the distance.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it got me thinking, if we were in this situation, I guess let's throw out some hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Okay? To each other.
Yeah.
And you just let me know what comes off the top of your head.
I like it.
First thing, we're in that situation. It's our league. Who's getting the most kills? Who has the highest kill count by the time that Dawn comes?
I'm going to go with either you or Evan, actually.
Oh, I like
because
that.
Evan, I could see Evan just getting trippy over there. You know, like just some
Like the
savagery.
creativity of the kills and
Yeah,
stuff?
just some savagery.
Yeah, I like
blatant
that.
disregard for his own safety.
Yeah.
Like jumping off the tops of trees, like taking out 10 people on the way down.
Like
Yeah.
throwing knives and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
Like killing someone and like ripping out their stomach and taking a bite out of it, blood running down his face as he turns around and like puts his fingers through another dude's eyeballs, rips his brain out like that. Yeah, creativity sort of.
I love it. Okay, cool.
Who gets the least amount of kills?
Least amount of kills? This is tough. Actually, no, it's not tough. Well, okay. I got to break this down into like I got to provide some context here. Assuming that everyone lived the longest,
Yeah.
I would say least amount of kills goes to Ben. Okay?
Of course, yeah.
I got to give it to Ben. I just, he's that guy, Ben, until you listen to the podcast, you are that guy
Not
that's
getting
on the
any kills.
receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're that guy.
Is Ben like, is he like he climbs up a tree and hides?
No, I wouldn't. No, I think he's more like he freezes up.
Oh, okay.
Like it's there, he means well, but he just freezes up, right?
And someone's got to step in and like deflect a sword that's about to hit him in the back, and
You
like,
gotta
they're
save
like,
him.
"Ben,
Come on. Yeah, exactly. You're like Jon Snow in that way. But I would say so. That was context. But what I think would actually happen and then result in the least amount of kills, I would probably give it to Kendall because I could see Kendall, depending on his headspace, like battles beginning and him just kind of like walking up in his head thinking that he's about to make peace or he's about to somehow like justify not fighting with their leader. And he like walks up and like, Ken, bad idea. Don't do it. Bad idea. Come back.
Ken.
And he's walking up saying like, no, we can do this. It's peace. We'll talk it out. We don't need this. It's senseless. And then walks up and then just gets like beheaded or just immediately like, you're an idiot. We're going to kill all you guys. And just like stabbed.
Yeah.
And he just falls down and one last look back at us. And we're just like so heartbroken and full of vengeance, but also like, God, you're an idiot. Why did you do that sort of thing? So I think that might be on the table. There's also the other side of he's just like full psycho mode and it's like planted like barbaric poison throughout the entire forest somehow, some mad can, and they're all like dying before they even reach us sort of thing. But I think that's on the table for these skills.
Ken somehow like befriended the flora and fauna of the forest and at the battle's darkest hour where it looks like we're surely defeated, he raises his arms and the trees just start murking the enemy or something.
Exactly.
It could go either way.
He's got that mage.
It could go either way.
Speaking of mage, I will ask that. I'm curious. Who do you think, who in the group do you see having that sort of like mage like power, that sort of like magical sense undergoing? Yeah.
Just like cooking it up.
Elementalist or
I think it's Graham.
Graham, you see that?
I think it's Graham.
Okay.
I mean, look at what he's done with his team this year.
Oh,
whipping up these performances.
Way to bring it back.
It's got to be Graham.
Graham.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Graham would be in the background, just sort of like his eyes would be white. There'd be like this sort of
aura. Raven status, but a better version of what that guy should have been.
He'd be vulnerable because he'd be basically unconscious.
But we'd be like protecting him, sort of thing.
We'd be protecting him, but like he would just be just wreaking havoc, you know.
I got another one for you. If you had to think, if we had to elect like a 3-man covert squad to go in either for some targeted kills or just to get some inside information the night before the battle.
SEAL Team 6.
What 3 guys are you sending in there?
Oh, man, that's a real good one. Oh, man.
It doesn't have to be based off the think piece, just in general.
No, yeah. So I think, are they working together?
Yeah, they need to work together. They're not, we need them to work well together.
So not Jason and Brendan and Casey.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not, unless we're trying to throw this battle. Maybe we send the 3 of them in.
Give them a false impression of our capabilities.
Well, honestly, like Brendan, here's my thought on why I would want to send Brendan in as part of this group.
Okay. So this is the group, or you're just saying Brendan is going to be part of the 3?
Brendan's part of the 3. And that's because like, I'm just thinking back to the nights in the Shire where Brendan would just disappear, kind of like he would just leave, like, where's Brendan? We don't know where he is.
Yeah.
And then you would like bump into him hours later and he'd be with like the people you least expect. And he'd be like just in his element,
part of the group,
completely. Yeah, they've taken this man on as family basically, and it's like, you know, for that reason, you're like he could do that. Send him out like as a fake White Walker.
How about Brendan disappearing in Vegas and ending up 45 minutes outside of the city coaching a water polo team when he doesn't know anything about water polo?
Perfect example. Dude's never even seen a water polo game in his life, and here he is head coaching a team in a tournament. Yeah, so he's like the perfect undercover.
Okay,
there.
I like that. Who's joining him? Yeah, we need a 3-man squad.
I think Luke for a similar reason.
Okay,
because
look out. I mean, he's going to be hard to mask.
So he offers that utility to the enemy. You know, he's imposing. Like, hey, we can use this guy. Luke is like really.
So in your hypothetical, they're making contact with the enemy.
But yeah, they could. Okay, yeah, exactly.
Okay. But so you're saying if they need to, they're going to pickle. He at least has that sort of option to.
Yeah.
Like we're changing guards.
Yeah.
We're turncloaks.
You know, Luke, it's going to be like Harry at first when he first makes contact, but then he whips the handle of Jägermeister out from his pants and offers like a peace.
Yeah.
A peace offering.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah. You give us the third.
Third of this group. So we got Brendan. I'm trying to think of. I'm using the 2 because I want some synergy amongst the 3. Brendan, Luke. I'm gonna put you in there.
Okay.
We need a little bit, like we need some even keel where the brain thinks a different way, right? And I think that all 3 of you are so different that it would be advantageous to have you in there.
We can work together, but we can also like kind of divide and conquer.
Yeah, exactly.
Act like we don't know each other.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. Like the Sam, Brendan, Luke. It feels very random, but I think it'll be good. I couldn't throw another like big personality in there. I don't think.
Yeah, agreed.
Or Spring. Or Spring would be, I think, a good mix.
Yeah.
You have the 2 towers with Spring and Spring and Luke, and then Brendan has that like the Tasmanian devil in there.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Stirring shit up.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, there you go. That's pod number 5.
Pod number 5 in the book, just like that.
Yeah. We're 5 episodes into this.
Oh my gosh. That was early morning. That was AM too.
Yeah.
AM too. I'm rocking the beanie. It feels like fall a little bit. There's some moisture in the air, a light haze that's gliding over the streets.
Pumpkin spice lattes on the menu.
Pumpkin spice on deck.
Yeah.
We feel good.
Hell yeah, boys. Well, hey, good luck to everyone this week, except for Hunter.
Yep, except for Casey. Simmer down, skillet.
Simmer down.
Chill out. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Appreciate you listening. Once again, we have a ton of fun doing this. Please be as interactive as you possibly can. Definitely feels good and gives us tons of ideas and just energy to do it. So love you boys. We're excited to throw out some more content. Promise we'll get you on. Kendall, keep laying those bricks, man.
Keep checking in, Ken.
Keep laying those bricks. We'll get on. I promise you. We promise you. Until then, enjoy the pod. Have a good weekend, guys, and score some points.
Peace.
Later.
Tell me what's your hand. If you follow me, I'ma let you lick my sand.